going to be a lane to keep our eyes on. I would suspect that he is going to be getting a lot of assistance from the Chen, but you could say the same here, especially if this Weaver is going to be roaming about. So, and I know both of these teams care a lot about their mid lane. I would imagine that Doo Wop even care more. So I'm curious to see if they're going to go like full rush in on Wii and try to like mess with them in the mid lane a bit, or what. It's going to be a doozy of a game, man. This is the best of 2. Remember, guys, this is a group stage here at Star Series. You get a point for a win. Teams looking to walk away with a 2-0, of course, would give them the 2 points and push them towards the top to get them into the playoffs. And only one team at the end of the playoffs is going to be invited to go out to Shanghai to compete at the Star Series LAN. And a lot of money, Mott. $300,000 prize.
It is a big purse. And
it's a big one.
Let me tell you, these teams are taking this seriously. I mean, even if Doo Wop is considered maybe a tier below that of DC, they're still on the top of the leaderboard, the top of the standings. They've still got 6 points. They're 2-0. Obviously, they did get that walkover win against Alcom. DC are still, they did 1-1 NP, which I think is a great result for both teams. I think they're both evenly matched, even though DC just won in Genting. I think DC needs to, push the pace here early, get up to a 1-0 lead, and I think they have the draft to do so. Doo Wop, however, is going to go ahead and smoke up. I don't know if that ward was placed before they did smoke. I think it was, and so it looks like Doo Wop are not going to find anything. And look at where Resolution is sitting underneath this tier tower. It's not going out any further than this tier 2 tower, almost certainly.
Yep, and obviously they have the right idea. And Misery went out there super early to get that ward down. Don't see that very often. And look, it just already got them so much information that they're not going to have to worry about this early game threat at all. Reading the exact movements here of Doo Wop, so it's going to be awkward for them to kind of step all the way back. They'll still be able to secure that 1 rune here, but they're not going to be able to get that initial leverage in hopes of trying to catch out a Luna a bit out of position and lead in with an early first blood. That will be not happening today, sir.
The battle begins.
It is going to be a support Starladder for Biryu. He's going to try to take the rune. He will be successful in doing so. So it's going to be 2 runes each. Biryu will grab one, while 747 Saksa and YawaR grab the other. Now Biryu's just chasing after Misery. They tag each other a little bit. Nothing really going on. Biryu is going to be in this lane, however, with Sneyking for the time being. We'll see if he rotates elsewhere. Again, this ward, though, placed up at the Uber Cliff towards this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Gonna really spot things out here. Another aggressive play coming out this time from Clairvoyance. He's got a ward. We don't know if he was spotted by the Radiums of a ward walking down into the river, but he will place the ward in an interesting location. It doesn't give him the high ground vision that maybe he's looking for, but it does give the vision of the rune, so.
Yeah, I wanted to see him walk away to see exactly what kind of vision that does give us. It's intriguing, but that's Clairvoyance for you. He's a very smart man.
Oh yeah.
A man with a lot of ideas. But he'll look to head back up and over here, and because as of right now, YawaR's happy to kind of trade with Moon. He's not threatened at all. Oh, bottom lane here. Yeah. Resolution getting attacked and dove through the tower. The Crush is going to be able to connect. The Ion Shell burning quite a bit, but Saksa has been able to rotate in and gets the lift and fends him off.
It's a good TP, but I don't know if they would have been able to dive and get that kill regardless. Level 1 Crush, level 1 Ion Shell. I think Resolution probably would have been fine with the creeps being there as well. Now rotating over is Misery. Creep camps are not blocked. He does have a Hellbear Smasher. He's already used the Thunderclap once. I think it might have hit Biryu. He's going for Sneyking. He does have his Surge. It's level 1.
Oh boy.
His kill.
Saksa is going to be able to get the lift, the pullback. He's in trouble. Tries to surge within the trees, but the auto attacks are already going out. It's going to be a Resolution. It picks it up. Biryu gets up this Crush, but he's got to get the hell out of there. Goes for the TP, makes it away. Barely back into the fountain.
Oh, he had maybe 50 HP at most. That was close. They could have gotten themselves 2 pickups there for DC. Biryu's lucky to be alive, but just a great gank coming out. I mean, Misery involved early. This is what you need to do with the Chen. Saksa as well. He's got his lift, but no mana for it. Telekinesis level 1, so is, of course, his Fade Bolt. He does have a Clarity running, and of course, the not being able to cancel it anymore is fantastic for him. So,
but obviously, this is not what Doo Wop we're hoping for here. I mean, leading in with the dual lane for Darkseer, initially taking the aggression approach to Resolution. They were able to force out the rotations from DC, but now they're going to confidently have, the lane in their favor. So I'm curious to see what Biryu's next move is going to be. Right now, crossing paths with Misery. That ward may have been spotted by him too. It's off the Crush. Sader's coming over to bop him a bit.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful. Rubik's coming.
Can he get the lift?
He's
a little far. He should be fine. The Shrine is also there if he needs it, but
another ward down.
He's going to tango up. I guess this is going, besides the bottom lane, still 747 is getting some decent last hits. He's without even with the OD mid, and then top lane you do have YawaR farming pretty well against Moon. Moon sitting at 7 last hits, but We'll see how he fares up in a little while.
Definitely doesn't seem like Moon is being threatened too much to get out of the lane. Clairvoyance has already like spent through all of his mana. They even head back to the shrine? I'm not too sure, but for now doesn't really have much to offer as far as aggression in that lane, and we'll have to step all the way off. So Moon is going to be able to kind of do as he pleases in that lane. Overall feeling pretty good for DC at the start of this, as long as the mid lane they're continuing to match up neck and neck. DC got to be feeling pretty good.
I think Claire might have been spotted roaming through. I'm not 100% sure. He might have actually not. He may have been fine, but they were maybe looking to go for a gank here. They have, I think, level 1 glimpse. So not that big range. In fact, he's just got to go shrine up and then head back to the top lane. Misery has been scouted. So too has Clairvoyance with that observer ward. So there's 2 up top for both teams. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to give some room up to resolution. Biryu is just going to try to soak experience here. You get.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not going to be an opportunity to kind of roll ahead here. Misery's been able to kind of acquire a new centaur, but Clairvoyance now is like, I can't even get near this lane. Misery's just only zoning me back. He's going to take that bounty for himself. This is what you want when you get a Chen. This is what you want.
If Clairvoyance is just afraid to pull, that's never a good thing. You're afraid to get the lane. I guess the lane position's already fine for YawaR. He wasn't going to pull anyways, but he really can't go and harass. He can't stop Moon from getting whatever farm he wants. He's still doing really well. I mean, he's on par with a Darkseer, which is pretty damn good for a Sneyking. Misery now looking for 747 or vice versa, rather. They kind of just walk past each other, say, hey, what's up? And then peace out. And now it looks like 747 will head back home. They do get that ward down, that aggressive ward towards this tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Yeah, I think 747 might know this is here, but let's see.
Yeah, Misery had been snooping around there, so it's safe for them to assume that they may have placed that extra bit of vision here, but they're still kind of left in the dark as Misery just continues to move through the fog up there. Back at bottom, Sney and Biryu are side by side once again, just trying to kind of get back into the grind of farm, but still not able to really oppose Resolution in this lane. He's got second of the best CS in the game, only next to the Weaver, but strong denies and maybe a go-ahead here on the Biryu. There's going to be the lift, the crush does come out, but after the Fade Bolt, he's the one eating the most of the damage, and they're going to have to get the hell back looking for the beam. They got it. Yep.
Yeah. Biryu just overextending a little bit, getting caught there. Sneyking walking up, trying to do some damage to Saksa with the Iron Shell. Can't really find anything. This is going pretty well for DC. They don't even really need Misery in some of these fights. Yeah, he'd like to push the pace a bit more, maybe finding more kills. He was trying to, I think, poke a prod up in that top lane. They can start looking for some pushing pretty soon. He has the Dark Summoner, he has the Centaur Conqueror.
There's a glimpse, top lane, level 2. They can pull Moon back. He goes for the Sandstorm, but they got the dust as Biryu rolls forward. There's going to be the glimpse. Crush right after. Pops the wand. He's able to get one last hit in. Could get enough for the takedown of YawaR, and we'll do it. Moon lives on. Man,
oh my God, he always makes those trades happen somehow. It was maybe a little bit of a mistake from Doo Wop, but they should have had that kill earlier. I think the Swarm, actually missed due to the fact that he was invis. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's what happened though. Like, it didn't actually connect to him. It's not like he missed it. He didn't avoid it. It was right on top of him. So somehow the Swarm actually misses, and that would have helped a lot in terms of getting the kill earlier for Doo Wop.
Mid lane trouble here. YawaR put into the Shadow Realm as the rest of the DC army is going to be rolling on over and crushing him apart. He'll go down, and Clairvoyance shows up but can only offer offense. So this is DC now making their first tier 1 hurrah. Nearby Resolution crosses path with Clairvoyance. We don't get to catch most of it, but I think all it took was a simple R press, and that Rubik was
he popped his Eclipse, and this is where it gets tough, man. They're going to lose their mid tier 1 tower, and most of the games that DC play tier 1 tower, and for most teams, tier 1 tower mid is usually how they want to go for, and with this pushing strategy especially. So they're going to take this tier 1 town. 747 has TP'd in, so too is Biryu. He's actually rotated, but they have no way of really fighting this yet. They're not in a position. You need levels, you need experience, especially for somebody like a Darkseer or a TA. You have pretty good pushing potential. You can even get the Looter coming in with the level 1 Glade and level 1 Looter Blessing. So this is just, I mean, it's a great start, and it puts them, if you look at the net worth graph, after that last engagement, it gives them about a 2,000 net worth advantage, almost 3,000 at this point. So they can either stack and farm a bit more, or you to try to push the pace here.
We'll touch base with His Majesty the King here in the bottom lane. He'd been kind of just hanging down there, grinding away in his farm in the meantime. Still trying to push up to get those first utility items online, but being only just a fresh level 6 to level 7, he's got a journey ahead of him here. Obviously, real unfortunate for YawaR to be taken down in that trade against Moon, but he still has got a grind ahead of him here. It's definitely still concerning here as bleeding has begun for Doo Wop in their early laning stage and finding a way to kind of bandage it up. And I don't know how much mid-game potential they're going to have as level 6 has come online.
Right.
You know, this is a support Biryu Starladder.
They're going to try.
And he's trying to get in there and get a crush off, but, you know, I was going to mention, without a Blink Dagger, these kind of engagements are going to be very difficult.
It was a 2 versus 3 for a moment there, but Clairvoyance taking a lot of damage. Misery's army can't quite break down, doesn't want to overextend. Saksa in room for the Fade Bolt. Astro coming out, I think that's just not a creep. But Biryu will TP home, and they won't be able to find anything for DC, but this doesn't have been a really bad position in terms of top lane. However, bottom lane, Resolution is left alone. Biryu sprinting, looking for some sort of initiation. Resolution very speedy, though, as a Luna, and MoonMeander here in the tree line, ready to counter-initiate if need be. We'll see if Doo Wop continue to push this pace down in the bottom lane. Biryu
he's
out
dead
there,
for
Bro
sure.
Strike, Lucid Beam, and Trap is sprung very easily.
It's definitely feeling pretty awkward right now for Doo Wop. It feels like they're itching for a fight, but they just have no real way to kind of start it. And if it's a support Starladder, obviously he's not going to be getting this Blink Dagger anytime soon. And just sprinting and running yourself in there is obviously not really working for them. So DC's able to shrug off these ganks. They're actually ending up getting the better trades, and now they're taking towers on top of it too. Another tier 1 going to be going down here in the top lane. The rich get richer as DC are beginning to bulk up. That Doo Wop are not going to really have a solid answer for it here.
Yeah, and YawaR can't even farm in his own lane or his own jungle. He was trying to just put some pressure on MoonMeander. There is some rotations from Doo Wop towards this top lane, but it looks like there's an early exit coming out from DC, not willing to stay any longer than they need to. That ward might have paid off in that jungle, but I mean, they really need to get back into this side. Doo Wop has to find something. 747 can find some big kills. He's somewhat farmed. He's not that far behind that of the OD. It's just the Luna that is becoming a problem. Sneyking certainly could use some more experience as well, but there's not much time. I feel like there's going to be some more pushing, some more presence. MoonMeander is going to have his potential Blink Dagger coming in. He does have it on his quick buy, so that Blink Dagger is going to be next for him. And we'll see what else there's going to be. What other items are coming out? Misery's going to have his next one. That's probably the biggest item for them, having that push potential. The YawaR has his Dragonlance, which will be a Hurricane Flag shorter, sooner rather than later, excuse me. So there's a lot of that Doo Wop have to deal with, and we're going to have to find a lot of farm here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, I hate for them to already have to fall back on one of their team's strengths, which is going to be the high ground defense. When you have that Darkseer and of course Disruptor, it's great to work in that choke point, but you know, you don't want to have to be stuck in a position where you're hoping that that's going to be the case to bail you out of this game right now. But here comes another tier 1 going down, another access point going to be removed from Doo Wop, making things a bit more fresher and freer for DC. YawaR advancing forward, but feels like he may have been spotted, as there is going to be a quick pull off. Tier 1's theirs, no contention at all. DC thinking about hanging around a bit.
Yeah,
Saksa is still hanging under the smoke. Yeah, he's going to get a nice deep ward in. They're going to have all the vision of Sneyking. He's going to go in looking to go for the lift. He'll get it. Lifts up Sney, pulls him back.
That was awkward.
Yeah, beam and prison at once. Comes back out. He drops the wall frantically, but the damage has been done. And this is going to be another takedown for DC. They're just rolling forward.
Moon is TP'd back mid. Burrow Strike will only connect on to one YawaR. Epicenter's going to go. 747 now caught. He has no usage of that refraction. Gonna maybe get some help here with the kinetic field. Might actually stay alive. Might even chase up the Clairvoyance. Sandy's Eclipse. They grab the kill. That's the job. Saksa grabs the lift with telekinesis. Burrow Strike back, and that's an easy double kill picked up for YawaR. It gets worse and worse for Doo Wop, and it might be even worse now, Dakota, as Biryu's getting chased in this top lane.
Oh god, please don't hit the R button, no! Here comes the Eclipse, and it just blasts him apart. They go crumbling and down. That is a 4-man drop on the side of Doo Wop if you count the lead in with Sneyking. 10-1 Mott in this game. DC want to end this one quick and fast. They're not done yet. Mid lane, pull up, pull back. Sneyking gonna get thrown in now.
The surge.
And here comes the army.
Was there. And yeah, he's done so.
There goes a rock, there goes a ball, there goes a little bit of everything right there. Team DC in full force in game 1.
I feel like I'm watching an adults-only game or something like that, an 18-plus game. Not for eyes of children. They're a bit newer. I mean, obviously you're against a strong team like DC. Maybe it was something to do with the draft. The game is obviously not over yet, but they have to find some farm for especially. They might go for a fight here. Flips, they're going to bring it back. Kinetic field, static field. This might be the opening they're looking for. Hand of God. Can they get the send back off? They cannot. They bring him down. That's one big kill. Can they get more? Saksa, he's stolen that Shikuchi. Now they get the lift off Biryu. Dust is up. Fade Bolt goes. They pop the amp damage. How much more can they find? Here comes Moon, Dakota.
He gets in, and Biryu goes down. Just an easy setup from Resolution. And that might be the end of harassment coming out from Doo Wop here. They promptly pull off. A little low in the mana, a bit bruised up. Sneyking returns after getting dropped twice straight, and now the tier 2s are going to be set to fall. That leads into Shrines, and I guess we're already going to be in that high ground defensive territory here.
They got the kill on Weehaw at least, so there's that, I suppose.
Yeah, a little bit of
the bright side for Doo Wop here, man.
Yeah, a little bit of an economy bump there.
Oh god, 747. You need to leave, like now.
He got those creeps, but the reward he got from them are going to be quickly taken away. There's a burrow and an epi. Saksa's going to Sakuchi all over yourself. And that's it. He goes down. We could see the towel thrown in quickly here, Mon.
I would say so. 13-2. What's the net worth graph looking like? 13 minutes of the game to code is a 10,000 net worth advantage. I'd say you're probably right about that, but again, you talked about the high ground defense. There is some coming out for Doo Wop, except for the fact that they keep dying outside of the base. As you see Clairvoyance going down now.
Yeah, I've been more focused on the stampede of an army coming down this mid lane instead, because they're not looking back. Right inside they go with the whole little spoopy army of skeletons and satyrs. Tier 3's a drop in, and Claire says, we are done here. Game number 1, we'll put it in the books, and we'll start over. You know, obviously DC feels like a pretty well-rounded draft. Doo Wop, you know, when it's time to fight, they just didn't have a whole lot to work with, man.
Right.
Like, the support Starladder thing, I just feel like sometimes it could bite you in the ass, you know?
I think so, and I think part of it too was just the Chen pickup coming out from DC. They weren't really anticipating it. They weren't really expecting it. It was hard for them to deal with. I mean, the Chen didn't really accomplish that much in the early game, but they had so much room even without the Chen being involved. I don't know. They just couldn't get anything done. There was just really solid plays coming out from DC. That early ward, too. That ward stopped the smoke from happening. They could have lost resolution had that ward not been placed by Misery. So just solid early game presence, really good draft from DC. I don't know, man. Doo Wop got outclassed in that first game. I don't know how they're going to come back in game number 2.